Do you know what's worse than finding out your wife is dead, Sophie?
In the latest episode of Surface Season 2, the psychological thriller starts to build momentum as it delves deeper into Sophie's increasingly tangled life. After hints and suspense from the previous episodes, the estranged husband of Sophie, James Ellis, makes his presence felt in a shocking way. This episode explores not only James's return, but also Sophie's continuing interactions with Callum Walsh, the investigative journalist. But there's more going on behind the scenes that gives this episode a fresh layer of tension and intrigue. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. Let's break down the key events, the complex relationships, and the significant developments that make Episode 3 a crucial chapter in the ongoing drama.
They're ruling it as a suicide. Investigation's already closed.
James's return. How did he find Sophie? The episode opens by taking us back in time to a week before the events in London. This is the first time we see things from James's perspective, and it's an important shift. For weeks, James has been grappling with the aftermath of Sophie's apparent suicide. He had helped her recover from a previous attempt on her life, but now he's devastated by the idea that she could have taken her own life. The emotional toll is clear, but what makes this moment particularly significant is the fact that James can't believe Sophie is truly gone. To cope, he turns to the one thing he knows best: money. Specifically, Sophie's money. James starts tracking her finances, most likely because he can't fathom the idea that she would take her own life. Using his access to their joint accounts, he employs a hacker to trace Sophie's whereabouts by analyzing her financial movements. The hacker discovers that Sophie has been converting her money into cryptocurrency, making it difficult to trace. However, this hacker finds a crucial lead. Sophie's money trail eventually leads to London. It's a small but critical piece of information that James latches onto. He learns that Sophie is alive and she's in London. At this point, the hunt is on. He heads to London to confront her and uncover the truth behind her escape.
She moved her fiat into Bitcoin on Binance, but they have limits on daily transfers and
James follows. Sophie, the twisted hunt. Once in London, James doesn't rush to confront Sophie. Instead, he observes her from a distance, a characteristic of his passive-aggressive nature. He follows Sophie, watching her interact with others, including a pivotal moment when she's talking to Eliza during a practice session. This scene becomes important when Eliza invites Sophie to her brother's private engagement ceremony. Little does Sophie know, this invitation will play a part in James's ongoing pursuit. James continues to tail Sophie, and he's soon able to track her to a hotel where the engagement ceremony is taking place. But getting into this high-security venue won't be easy. James, however, uses his cunning and arrogance to get past security. He manages to bluff his way into the venue by pretending to be a guest and even convinces the guards that he's a resident of the building. This part of the episode shows James's manipulative side as he uses both charm and intimidation to get exactly what he wants. Sophie is stunned when she spots James at the engagement ceremony. She realizes, just like us viewers, that her estranged husband is not a thing of the past, and his presence in her life is far from over. Sophie tries to reach out to him, calling and leaving messages, but James ignores them, continuing to follow her every move.
I know what you did. You're lucky I'm not calling the police.
James versus Callum, complicating Sophie's work. As the episode progresses, Sophie is increasingly on edge, knowing that James is stalking her. She's trying to maintain her professional relationship with Callum, the journalist, but it's becoming more difficult to keep her personal life from interfering with her work. Sophie's tension is palpable, especially when James shows up at the hotel where she and Callum are meeting. He sends wine to their private room and leaves a mocking note for Sophie, accusing her of being involved in an affair. This gesture terrifies Sophie. She can't tell Callum the truth about James because revealing her past would only add to the suspicions surrounding her. Callum already finds it suspicious that wine is sent to their room, and his curiosity deepens. As the episode unfolds, Callum follows Sophie and witnesses her picking up a bag from a bridge, which turns out to contain her American IDs. This moment serves as a powerful reminder to Sophie of the life she left behind in San Francisco, and it also opens up a dangerous new layer of suspicion for Callum. Now Callum knows that Sophie is hiding something from him, and he's determined to get to the bottom of it. But Sophie, ever the strategist, knows she has to tread carefully. If she reveals too much, it could lead to dangerous consequences for her, especially considering how intertwined her past is with the Huntley family, a subject she's been investigating with Callum. Meanwhile, Callum starts to suspect that the Huntley family might be using Sophie to feed him false information, which could ruin his career as a journalist. Callum's assistant, Claire, suggests this theory to him, although Callum remains unconvinced. Nonetheless, this suspicion will likely play a larger role in the episodes to come.
You can have the money, James. It doesn't matter to me. Just stop playing games.
Wait. You think...
Phoebe Davis' death, unraveling the mystery. Another major plot point in this episode is the mysterious death of Phoebe Davis, which has been lingering since the previous episode. Phoebe was the woman who had agreed to help Callum with his investigation into the Huntley family. She was last seen before her death when she traveled to Paris, apparently fleeing the UK after realizing that her plan to expose the Huntleys was in danger. Now, her death is confirmed to be a key turning point in the investigation. At first, it appears that Quinn Huntley may have been responsible for Phoebe's death, as it's revealed that Phoebe had been involved with him. Quinn, who is engaged to Grace, had been in contact with Phoebe, and during one of their interactions, he drunkenly admitted that the accusations against his family were true. This, of course, would give Phoebe enough ammunition to expose the Huntleys if she ever went public with it. However, by the end of the episode, it's revealed that Quinn, whether directly or indirectly, was not responsible for Phoebe's death. Instead, the cause of her death might be more complicated than anyone initially thought. The French authorities claim that Phoebe committed suicide, but this doesn't completely rule out foul play. Could it have been someone else in the Huntley family, such as Quinn's father, Henry Huntley, who had something to do with Phoebe's death? The mystery of Phoebe's death is far from resolved, and this will undoubtedly be a major storyline in the future.
All I ever said was that my mother died young.
Sophie's future. What's next for her? The episode closes with an intense moment between Sophie and James. After their long game of cat and mouse, James finally confronts Sophie, accusing her of having an affair and betraying him. He believes she's involved with either Callum or Eliza, given how he's been tracking her interactions. Sophie, however, doesn't try very hard to explain herself. Knowing that James is incapable of understanding her situation, she's already deep in the investigation of her mother's disappearance, and she doesn't want to be dragged into the mess of her past. James, bitter and unyielding, tells Sophie that she's about to experience the same pain he felt when he found out that she had faked her death. This ominous statement hints at a future revelation that could shake Sophie to her core. Could her mother, whom she's been searching for, also be alive and have faked her death? The idea of Sophie facing the same kind of emotional devastation as James adds a new layer of complexity to her journey. As the episode concludes, Sophie returns home to find Eliza waiting for her outside her building. This unexpected encounter marks a turning point in their relationship as Eliza invites Sophie to the Huntley estate house, the very place where their romantic relationship once blossomed. Sophie agrees to go, as she sees it as an opportunity to dig deeper into the Huntley family's dark secrets. The promise of the Huntley estate house is a tantalizing one, and it sets the stage for what promises to be a thrilling next episode.
Using people for your own gain. Tell me I'm wrong. Go on. Tell me I'm wrong.
Our nerdy thoughts surface. Season 2, Episode 3 adds plenty of layers to the already complex web of relationships and mysteries surrounding Sophie. With James back in the picture, Sophie's life becomes even more complicated as she tries to balance her personal demons with her investigation into the Huntley family. As the show continues to build suspense and tension, we're left wondering what will happen next. Will Sophie uncover the truth about her mother? Will James's return throw everything off track? And, most importantly, what dark secrets lie ahead in the Huntley estate house? One thing's for sure, the stakes have never been higher. And that's a wrap on our breakdown of Surface Season 2, Episode 3. This episode definitely raised the stakes and added a whole new layer of intrigue to Sophie's already complicated life. With James back in the picture and the mystery of Phoebe's death still unresolved, it's clear that things are about to get even more intense. The Huntley family's secrets are only getting darker, and Sophie's journey is far from over. What do you think will happen next? Could Sophie's mother be alive, or will the Huntley's web of lies unravel? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the recap and subscribe for more Surface content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.